Maverick 100.9, Aggie Land's country alternative. It's Corliss, and I know we haven't heard from this guy in a while, so I'm more than excited to have him. Clay Hollis is back. What's up, Clay?
Hey, Corliss, I'm back. Yeah, it's good to see your shining face.
Well, as good as it can be for a Monday. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Hey, but I'm happy to be here.
Well, we've got a lot to catch up on because it really has been quite some time, but we first have to talk about a brand new single that you honestly kind of surprised me with. I really didn't even know that you were working on anything, and then I Can't Get Back in my email. Tell me about that.
So it's the first single off of my new full-length album that's coming out in September. So this is the first single that we've put out, and we felt this was just a good way to fire off the new album. And this is a track that actually was written by my co-producer Matt Zavala, and it was a song that got pitched to me. I didn't write it, but we put our own spin on it, and it feels like I wrote it almost, but it definitely, when you hear me sing it and deliver the message, it's definitely, I think it's heartwarming and touching. It's a play on words. The full name is "Here's to the Days That We Can't Get Back," and we named it "Can't Get Back" for short. So, but it's just it's a cheers and a nod to looking back on your past, and when you're younger, young love. Maybe it takes you to when you were in high school. Maybe it even takes you back younger than that. But it's just kind of a nod to your past. A cheers to those days that you remember so well. So
I love that. We all have to have that nostalgic feel. And I feel like when we're listening to country music, we're often looking for that, especially if it's modern,
Absolutely.
Well, that is so cool. We've got a lot more to talk about here with Clay Hollis, so he's going to hang in here with us, but we got to debut this brand new single to you. It is Clay Hollis, Can't Get Back, on Maverick 100.9. Due to copyright, Brian Broadcasting is not licensed to air this single for you in podcast form, but you can find it on any streaming and downloading platform. And today's interview continues now. Maverick 100.9, you just heard it here first. That was Clay Hollis, Can't Get Back, brand new single, and I've got Clay here with me. But you were telling me kind of some fun facts about this song. I know you've got a new album coming up, so you and your bass player are actually the ones that produced this?
Yeah, so I co-produced this whole 11-song album with my bass player, Matt Zavala.
The whole thing?
The whole thing. Him and I, we produced it, and we tracked it in Nashville. We had a really great band leader. Evan Hutchins helped us with all the tracking process in Nashville. We brought the project home to Texas. We recorded all the vocals, did all the overdubs, all that stuff, all that cool, studio stuff back home in Texas. Man, it's just like, here we are a couple months later. It's seeing the light of day now, So, but I'm super proud to have worked on this with my bass player, Matt. He's super talented, man. He's a songwriter. He plays almost every instrument you can think of. He's an engineer. Does all the studio stuff. He's super incredible. He's got a great ear for it. And to have him play in my band live, and carry out what we've done in the studio and then bring it out onto the stage so flawlessly, that's really neat. So I'm very happy to have that. So.
I've seen Matt perform with you before as well. You guys have actually been together for quite some time, haven't you?
Going on a little over a year now.
Yeah. That
crazy.
Is super cool because you guys, you live on the road together, you make music together, no matter if you're actually producing albums or not. So I'd imagine that when you have a closeness with someone like that, the product that comes back through is better than a bunch of studio musicians that just don't know each other, or a producer that doesn't know the artist.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think a lot of that magic comes from everyone knowing, it being a close-knit kind of operation. We knew what we wanted going into the project. So anyhow, so cool. It's we got "Can't Get Back" is the first single off the album, and like I said, it's a nod to your past and just a good vibes summer song, and I'm hoping that everyone loves it.
Well, so new album, when does that come out exactly?
We're shooting for September 10th.
All right.
We're a little about a month away. Yeah.
And it's been a minute since you've put out a full album as well.
Well, technically, this is my first full-length album. I have 2 EPs, 6-song EPs under my belt.
Right.
But this is an 11-song album. We haven't released music since 2020. So, and it was, which my last project was the Honky Tonk Highway EP, which was recorded in January of 2020. And we actually were going to release in the early parts of 2020, but then COVID, of course, hit the world. So then we postponed that record, and it ended up coming out in October of 2020. And we were able to tour on it somewhat, but it really wasn't what we hoped for. So, given the fact that we haven't released anything since 2020, and I've been writing music since then. So this new project is basically an accumulation of my writing and picking songs from outside and putting it all together, and really just a lot of hard work and time all coming into this one project, and we're getting ready to put it out for you guys.
I am so stoked. It's funny because I consider Clay Hollis a friend of mine, but more than that, I've been a fan of yours since long before I ever got to meet you and become friends with you. So I think I'm probably the most excited for this record, to be honest.
Well, thank you. I can't wait for you to hear it. So of the 11 songs, I wrote 9 of them. I co-wrote 9 of the songs, and we have a few outside cuts. But with that being said, like, everyone's been asking me like what to expect, and I think this new album is like gonna take you on a road trip of like falling in love, falling in and out of love. A couple songs about me and what I like to do, and basically it's super unapologetically me. So it's got some cool tones in it. It's like we got a little outside the box when we were recording and playing with sounds and different aspects of what we wanted the record to sound like. So it's I got to leave it up to the listeners. It's either you're going to like it or you're not. But hey,
right.
This was a record more so for me, and it's just like this is something I've yet to do as an artist, and of course it's for the people, but.
Right.
This was a little pat on my back to say, hey, like, you produced a full-length album with your bandmates, and it's mostly songs that I wrote, that you wrote, Clay. It's like kind of me talking to myself about like, hey, good job. So that's where I'm at with it.
Honestly, I wouldn't have you any other way, whether it's the Clay that I've always known and loved, or whether whatever you've been working on is shining through and we're discovering a new Clay. I think everybody should be a fan of that, to be honest with you.
Well, I appreciate it. I think they will be. It's not too different, but it is we shifted gears on you guys. So
I'll take it. Well, Clay, I am so glad you were able to come update us. I know you've been traveling like crazy and it has been running you down. So everybody make sure you're always keeping an eye on Clay Hollis's tour dates, because he's all over the place. New music is coming. September 10th is the goal for that new album. And right now you can get Clay Hollis's Can't Get Back anywhere you want it. Clay, thank you so much for joining us on Maverick.
Thank you, Corliss. Anytime.